Hi there, Dr. Sheeper. Welcome back to TGIF Talks, episode 119. I'm your host, Dr. Sheep, with my co-host, Anonymous Phil.
I think so.
You think so? Well, all right. Where? Just go to the thing. Jesus. These podcasts are just... They're just that. They're podcasts, and that's all there is.
Not a whole lot to it.
Oh! Oh no! Oh no! I hit the wrong button.
Oh.
Please, camera, turn on. Hey, all right, and we're back. I hit the wrong button. I was like, I went to stop the stream, and I hit disconnect.
You hit the space bar?
No, I did not hit the space bar. We don't touch the space bar. Anyways,
We don't do that here.
we don't do that here. No. No more touching random buttons.
We don't do that here.
I still remember that. I was just like, don't! And you freaking just slapped the keyboard and it disconnected. I'm like, you schmuck. Anyways, what have you been up to?
Nothing.
So much.
What have I done? Here's a good question. Honestly, I just feel like the weeks have just been passing by, and I'm just counting down the years until, 40 more years? Until I can retire? Or until 65 or whatever. Maximum retirement age.
That's the minimum retirement age.
Minimum?
Yeah.
Oh, next year's minimum.
Oh,
It ain't gonna happen. Minimum would be next year to just be done.
Our generation may never retire.
It would be nice to be retired by the age of 50.
That's a tall order. We're in the wrong careers if we want to retire by 50.
No, you just got to change your budget.
Yes, but also we should just do investment banking. We can retire within a matter of a decade.
In 1 decade?
Probably. Just move to New York, become an investment banker, and then move back here, and you're done.
Oh, really?
Probably. I mean, you got to be successful as an investment banker.
Like, can anyone do it, or do you have to actually be good at? Like, do you actually have to know your stuff?
You probably should know what the hell you're doing. Otherwise, you'll have the FCC on your ass. I don't think you want that. It's also a very stressful, boring job.
Well, see, that's the thing. You're gonna go in there, take off like 30 years of your life, and sure you'll be like young when you get out, but you're gonna have you're gonna look like you're at retirement age.
Possibly. You're also filthy rich, so you can.
Kind of like athletes, they go in, they make their several $1 million a year, and they
LeBron
leave
looks
with
great
like
for
they
his
they
age.
leave with the skeletal structure of a 70-year-old.
I think LeBron's in better shape than you think.
Their knees don't move like they used to.
Okay, yeah, their joints are shot. But, that's what happens when you work out.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, but you're rich. You can just replace them. Simple things. Things to do when you're rich.
Just replace them.
You know.
But you're still never the same, though, even if you do replace them.
Fine. What do you see as a job that will make you crap tons of money and won't age you faster than normal?
Crap tons of money and won't age you? See, that's the thing, right? There is no shortcut to life. The people who get
My
ahead and
ass.
retire early are the people who hit the ground running, nose to the grindstone, and exhaust themselves mentally every day. So that's
Well,
aging you
mental
quickly
exhaustion is
mentally.
different than physical exhaustion.
No, but you go gray sooner, which is why I said you look your age when you're done.
Could be an actor,
I guess yeah, he could be an actor.
depending
I
on the
don't know
type
how
of actor.
stressful an actor's job is.
Depends on the. Oh, you could be a singer or a
That's what I was saying.
songwriter.
Think about like business owners, right? If you start your own business, and it becomes successful,
Just sell it.
unless you quit the moment you make, you know, $1 million or whatever, the minimum that you need to retire, unless you quit right at that point, you're gonna want to see it through.
I hate to break it to you, but the most stressful part about a business is the startup.
Yeah, it's always trying to make that first million, and then after you make that first million, the next million's easy, and then it's trying to make that first billion. If you're that lucky.
No, you don't want to go that far. That's unnecessary. It's a completely different ball game from making your first million to making a billion.
Yeah.
To make a billion,
Well,
you have to
I don't
own.
know. In 50 years, a billion won't be as much as it is now.
Well,
So
yeah, but it's still an astronomically large number. Like, to become a millionaire, you can do that in a decade pretty easily through just property investment, right?
yeah, yeah,
Any schmuck could do it. You just flip houses. It's hard work, but
it
you'll do
is.
it.
It is hard
You'll
work.
make $1 million pretty easily, and if you keep those, you'll be worth a million. You won't make a million. You'll be worth a
Yeah,
million.
you're worth a
You'll be
million.
worth a million. Now, a
Mhm.
billion, we're talking like you basically have to have that business you just built in 10 years. You have to already have that. You have to probably already have. Now, I'm not saying you couldn't make a billion from, you know, something small. That's not out of the question. Elon Musk did it. But
Yeah, pretty much any business at one point was small, and it grew to a billion. Apple.
not every bit. I mean, some of the more famous ones you might think of
I mean,
started
like
out.
what business is worth $1 billion that did not start out small? Like they just were always big.
Uh,
That's the thing,
so
right?
no, I gotta. So there's. I would say I'm thinking subsidiaries, right? I'm not thinking like subsidiaries of companies that things companies started that grew. And I'm trying to think.
Well, even if there are some, it seems to suggest that it's slim. There's not a whole lot.
I wonder how Lockheed Martin started.
That was government, right?
I don't know. It's Lockheed Martin. What they do? Start small. Some guy building pistols in his garage. I doubt it. No way you become the largest
Well,
freaking government
no.
contractor in the world from starting off with pistols. No way. You had to have been some guy's fever dream. Like, I have a ton of money and I want to build battle tanks.
Well, yeah. So I guess I don't know. Did the government go to them? Because they're like, hey, this guy's already doing what we need. I do know. I do know that there are such companies.
Well, that works too.
Who was it? I was watching, those, engineering people, engineers that built America, whatever.
Yeah.
And what one of the people, they got big because the government wanted to buy a whole bunch of their stuff for the war. And that's how they got started because they were like, We need capital. We need shit tons of money. You know, we also need tall orders. You know, and the government, heard about what they were doing at this small startup. No one else was doing this. They were the first of their kind. You know, there might have been like some couple of their rivals. That were also doing their startups. In a completely different part of the world, but they were slightly bigger.
Right.
The government heard about them, and they had this huge government contract that just helped siphon a whole bunch of money to them. I don't remember what this was though. I just remember I saw it on like that History Channel.
I guess you know what? Any steel mill can't just start off as something small. Theoretically it could have, but today a steel mill could not start as something small. It has to be a billion.
Was it Carnegie?
Yeah.
Carnegie started steel.
Yeah, but he was already rich.
Well, his father was rich.
Yeah, which gave him
But
money.
he was the one who started the business, didn't he?
His father did. His father died, gave him money more than likely. And then he was like, all right, I'm just going to blow up some steel mills and, buy some other ones.
But the business was already rolling, though. He took over the business.
I don't know if he took over the steel business. I don't know if Carnegie started steel. He might. I don't know what his dad
No,
did
I don't
before.
think he did. I think he took it over. Because if I remember correctly, he basically was like this kid, in his dad's shop, reading about these random people that were on his shop, reading about these random people. He observed everything as a kid, seeing how things were ran. Eventually, when he first started, he was like, all right, this position, they do nothing. They got to go. These guys, they don't work. And he started just firing people left and right because he realized how much of his company his dad wasn't paying attention to, and how many jobs he could just eliminate because they were worthless. They weren't doing anything.
So I read about Lockheed Martin, and it basically started by this guy in Los Angeles who made his first airplane, and then decided to start his own, and then had this idea. He built an airplane, and then had this idea for like a better airplane, and like Orville Wright, the guy who invented the airplane, was like,
yes.
Do it, my guy, start a business. And he just did it.
Mm-hmm.
In 1912.
1912, he started an airplane manufacturing business?
I guess so, yeah.
Mm.
So I guess that would be small. Although, 1912 to build an airplane, I wonder, that might have been $1 million business now.
Yeah.
Before you ever got one off the ground. But I guess I forgot. They're airplane manufacturers, not tank manufacturers.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what? Henry Ford.
What about him?
The Ford Motor Company didn't start small.
It didn't?
No, he literally was like, I want to make...
No, he took, because he improvised the assembly line. The assembly line was already invented. He improvised upon it.
Yeah.
To lower the cost of the Model T. I don't think he invented the Model T, did he?
I don't know.
Was that his idea? Or was that just something, was that like an innovation, something that was already in the works, and then he just made his own version and called it the Model T? I don't know.
Oh, I'm sure he didn't invent it. I'm sure he, looked at how cars were being built and then was like, how can I make this easier and faster?
Cheaper, too. People couldn't afford cars. He made it affordable. Same deal with Edison. Edison didn't invent the light bulb. He made the first practical light bulb that people could buy.
Right.
I think Edison, was it 1870s when he came out with this thing? Well, supposedly the light bulb, the proto light bulb, if you will, is credited to Harvey Davy. I believe it was like 1804, and he invented something he called the arc lamp.
Hmm. I have an idea of how that one was made.
Yeah.
But no, so definitely Henry Ford definitely didn't start small. He definitely was like, "Yep, I need to build a really big business." Because you can't just be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna make cheap cars, but I'm gonna start small, one car at a time." Like, you're not gonna do that.
What's crazy is, so on that, they had another series called Food That Built America. Have you seen it? It's
Uh,
also a good show. Well, the maker of Subway, you know what he did when he did when his business was failing?
no.
Let me ask you, if your business was failing, what is the first thing you do?
I figure out where we're losing money, and then figure out
You know
where.
what he did? He opened up a second store. He was like, because I can't remember. I think he was like some sort of science major. I think he majored in like he had like a STEM degree or something. And he turned it into an experiment. He opened up a second business, made his first one a control, and his second business, he just started changing stuff around. He's like, well, what if we, put the counter over here, cash register over here, and what if we? Because I think they had pre-made sandwiches. And he's like, what if we just let people choose what they want to put on their sandwich? And he's like, "Oh, this is working really well.
I guess that's a
Let's put
method.
this on the. Let's do this on the first store. So this is working really well, and let's go back to the second store and change something else." And he kept using both. And once he found something that worked really well at the second store, he put that back in the first store, made that his new control, and then changed something else. And then when something else wasn't working, when the first store started doing well, he's like, "Okay, that's not what we should do." And he used both stores as like a control and an experiment.
I
Rather
mean,
than
that's
just
one way
looking
of
at,
doing it.
yeah.
That's the
I mean,
risky
rather
way.
than just looking at sales and being like, yeah, it's not doing, we're not making sales doing this way, because he's still making money from the
I,
first store.
I
Now,
don't think you
how
can
he was able
convince a
to
bank
afford
to
the
let you
second
do that
store,
these days.
what?
I don't think you can
What?
go to the bank and be like, "I have an idea." It's like, "Sir, you're $1 million in debt, but I
I
have an
have an
idea."
idea.
Thank you, SpongeBob. That's like, "Sir, you're $1 million in debt, but I have an idea." But you're
But
a
I have
million
an
dollars in
idea.
debt. You owe us $1 million. I need $1 million more though. Like,
I
sir,
need I need a third store. I have this amazing idea, but I don't want to ruin my first two stores to improvise it. I need a third store. Wait, oh, hold up. So you're
ruin?
making a third store because you don't think it'll work? Yeah,
You mean
yeah.
ruin the first two, sir? The first two don't make money. You
I
can't
don't want
ruin
to.
them
I don't want
for
to ruin
more.
the first two. I need a new store so I don't ruin the first two. That way I know if it doesn't work because I want to see if it does work.
Yeah, there you
And
go.
that's what he did. And let history tell you the rest of the story.
Tesla. Hey, you know what? I just realized. So Tesla, technically, if we want to, how are we? Are we defining small as in like low price, or as in like low volume? Because
Low volume.
Tesla.
Low volume.
Okay.
Like you did not start out with making like fulfilling like 1,000 orders a day or something.
Got it.
An absurd number.
Got it.
You started out, a product here, a product there. All right, how can we explode this? We need to explode. You
Got
did
it.
not already just hit the ground, just
I was gonna
boom.
say, because like, Tesla and SpaceX both had to be super expensive when they started, but like, they made one rocket, one car.
Yeah. So low volume is
Yeah.
how I quantify small business. Yeah.
Right.
'Cause, yeah, that is a fair point.
Yeah, because Henry Ford
If
though
anything with
he did both. He was
What?
high volume and high dollar probably.
You think so?
You can't just
Well,
build
but
a
see,
car manufacturing. You can't just build a car factory for cheap.
well, I guess Apple. Well, I mean, no, they had already started. Never mind. I was thinking the first iPhone because Apple had already started making computers. So they already knew about them. Because I was like, when the first iPhone came out, like, was that '07? It was huge.
Well,
Just
see that's
exploded. They're like,
a
I gotta get
product
this.
though, and see that's why I was
What?
trying to find subsidiaries that that had lots of started off big.
Because also, that was back in the age when smartphones weren't yet a thing.
They perfected the smartphone, I should say.
Yeah.
They
I
didn't
don't
invent
know. I
it.
don't know
I'm
what
pretty
the
sure
first.
Google invented the smartphone, but they.
I don't know what the
perfected
first smartphone, or at least what can be considered the first smartphone. Maybe one can access the internet. Maybe I don't know. I don't know how you quantify a smartphone. Because I don't think did the first iPhone have Siri?
No. The
IBM
IBM Simon in 1992 was the first touchscreen phone.
Okay, so we had touchscreen in the 90s. Okay.
First phone to access the internet.
The web. Yeah. That'd be one way I would define
Nokia.
it.
So that would have been Google. Yeah, the Nokia 9000 communicator. So that'd been Google.
When was that?
Finland in 1996.
Okay.
I guess this was before Nokia got bought out. I thought Nokia got bought out by Google, but maybe not.
But that's how I would define a smartphone, one that can access the web outside just the traditional call, text, and take pictures.
Yeah, I'd say, but yeah, Apple perfected the smartphone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they make a decent product. It's just crazy expensive.
Anymore.
Hmm?
Yeah, they don't make a mid-range phone anymore. Their mid-range phones are just their old phones.
Well, see, yeah, that is the thing. Because, I mean, you can go on the web, and, I mean, there's pros and cons to iPhone over Samsung, Some people just straight up just hate iPhones, and other people, they get around their differences just because it's nice to have all their products easily communicate with one another.
So, for your next phone, if you're looking to get away from Apple, Samsung makes these mid-range phones that are like the king of mid-range phones.
That's the thing, yeah. I really love a mid-range phone. Mm-hmm. And my next phone will be solely determined, like, the thing I'm looking for is how good their night vision camera is. How good night photography is.
Oh. Well, see, that's the issue with mid-range phones.
Because
they
I don't really want
cameras.
Yeah. Well, hopefully within the next... I'm hoping to get like another 3 years out of my phone.
Oh, wow.
Because usually Apple is about 5 to 6 years before you can't really update it anymore.
Right.
And I mean, it doesn't really have any problems yet. I've noticed the battery is slightly degrading from what it used to be. But I mean, it's only like $30 to replace the battery.
I probably won't replace mine.
I replaced mine in my old phone. I got another 2 years out of it because the battery was just shit. It was nothing.
Well,
wait, can I say that?
We kind of gave up, even though YouTube's gotten even more strict about it. We've given up.
Yeah, the battery was worthless. I wouldn't even be on it, for like 8 hours, and it'd be dead by the end of the day.
I told you about. Remember my first phone?
To save its life.
Did I tell you about my first phone when I was in college?
No.
So it'd be fully charged in the morning, and then by lunchtime it was dead. So I had to charge it at lunchtime.
Yeah.
I'd have to turn it off when I went to work because it would die while I was at work.
Well, that's what I had to do when I was in Spain. Because it was when I got back from Spain that it was like, oh, I can't deal with this anymore. Because I'd go to Spain, I'd turn it off, when I went somewhere, and then turn it on whenever I wanted to take pictures or whatever. Just because I did I did have a backup battery charger. I think I used,
I had one too.
but it's just
Sucked.
kind of clunky to carry around in your
Yep.
pocket because it's like it's the thickness of like another phone.
Yep. And they sucked too
And
back then. I
I
heard,
mean, it still charges. I mean, it does. I think you get two full. I'm sorry, like three full charges out of it before the pack has to be
I
charged.
really feel like. Can we talk about how phone batteries have like taken leaps and bounds since we first had our phones? Because everybody talks about, oh, smartphones don't have batteries like they like our old flip phones. But I'm like, yeah, but do you like? I remember my first phone. It
Yeah, but
had
think about what you did on your old flip phone. You know, like yeah, my old flip phone, the battery was great, but the thing
you
is,
didn't do anything.
you didn't. All I did was call and text, and I rarely texted on it. The phone basically just sat in my pocket as a pocket weight.
Yeah. Well, so then, that, and then I was just like, my old phone, like my S9, right? From
Hmm.
all those years ago, its battery, it still had a good battery. It would last pretty
Yeah.
much the entire day. I don't have any
But you
issues
didn't
on it.
do anything with it because I don't know about you, but my old flip phone, since I couldn't do anything but call and text and take horrible grainy pictures, all I used it for was to check the time or call if I was in the case of emergency because I got my phone after I turned 16, so I was still already driving.
Well, no, I'm
So the only
talking
time I
about
had to
my
make a phone
Galaxy
call,
S9. I used it for everything. It was great.
so the only time I had to make a phone call was like an emergency or like someone just needed to get a hold of me for whatever. That was
Well,
it.
well, yeah, no, yeah, that's your old flip phone. I'm talking about my S9 though. My S9, even though it was years ago, it would last. Yeah, when I first got it, it would last 2 days, but
Hmm.
that didn't last very long because I think I started to use it more, and then I started using it a lot, and it'd last a whole day, and then, I'd have to give it a bit of a pickup towards the end
Well,
of the
my
day.
phone now, I think I told you, my phone now, when I first got it, I would intentionally try to get over. I would intentionally go over 100 hours, just because I thought it was kind of cool to have the phone say, like, it's been over 100 hours since my last charge.
Mm.
96 hours is 4 days,
I mean,
and
I
that was
if I didn't
consistently,
when I first
and
got
that
my
was
phone,
like
if I
that, and
didn't.
that was and that was and that was to tell you down to 20%. I'd charge it because I didn't want to go all the way down to zero because with lithium you're not exactly supposed to do that with lithium batteries. Um,
I don't care.
so I tried to keep it above 20, and now it's just like as soon as it needs to charge, I charge it. But
No, so no, my S9, right? That from my first. Now it's a bigger battery, obviously, but this phone though. Now we go to this phone. It's an even bigger battery than my S9, but this thing when I got it lasted me 2 days without charging it at all. I have to charge it in the middle just so it's just above 50. Then it'll go 2 days.
so
Just
what I have to say
that's
to
because I
that
just use
is
it a bit heavier than I used
I
to.
don't battery technology, if anything, has increased. It
That's what
wouldn't
I'm
make sense that they put
saying.
in the worst battery. What I'm thinking the issue is that now there's background app usage, and that's what's killing the phone.
Well, no, I'm no. What I'm saying is, back when I first had a phone, the battery sucked ass. These new
Oh,
phones, the battery's great, and I don't do anything
I'm
different. I
sorry.
use it more, and it lasts me
Oh,
even
I thought you were
longer.
talking about flip phones or something.
That's when I didn't start on a flip phone. I started on a smartphone. I never had a flip phone.
Oh, you didn't have flip
I just
phones.
hear our parents always say, "Oh, the flip phones are better," and I'm like, "You're not thinking." Yes, the flip phones are better, but they're always going to be better. But if we look at the first smartphones coming out, the battery's great.
Yeah,
They've
yeah,
gotten way better.
yeah.
It's
No, they have. Yeah.
insane. It's like my asses have gotten more efficient. They haven't. They well, I mean, they have, but haven't gotten more efficient. They still zap up power like crazy, but they're just
Oh,
able to
yeah,
pack
yeah,
more power into a battery.
yeah.
Ah, but no, but it's just, yeah, it's phones are crazy these days.
Mm-hmm. No, and so what I was saying is that my next phone, which is I think it was 3 years, because I want to get like 5 years out of it. Um, actually, no, yeah, I think it was 2021 when I got it. Yeah, so this is 2 years now.
I don't know how many years I'll get on my phone. Because whenever Samsung drops support, I'll probably get whatever the new phone is. Maybe I'll let it go a little
But
bit longer.
I mean, mid range is what is preferred. But if I if I have to, the main criteria though is something that can take night photos, because it would just be so nice to not have to buy an actual camera and to just be able to just have like a phone that can do everything a camera can, because like you said, buying lenses and a decent camera, you can rack up quite the bill fast, depending how professional you want to get. And I mean, me, I just want to I'm just something that can just take a decent photo.
Astrophotography,
And
as I've learned, is about as expensive as a hobby as you can get. So, besides like collector cars or something, it's pretty
yeah,
expensive. Were you?
well, people that have a hot what? Well, I mean, restoring cars can get expensive too. I mean,
That's what collector
paint.
cars is.
I think you said cards.
No, collector
I
cars.
Oh, I was thinking cards, like baseball cards and stuff. So
Oh
I was
no no
like,
no
if you're
no.
trying to buy stuff off an auction, then yeah, buying $100,000 baseball card, I
No, no,
suppose.
baseball cards. No one gives two shits about baseball cards.
I thought that's what you said was
No,
cards.
no, no one's given a shit about baseball cards since the mid 2000s.
Yeah, yeah. So all my baseball cards are worthless, probably. I have a whole binder of them because I used to collect them. Um,
No, but what was I thinking?
so we were talking about a good phone for astrophotography. I mean, my mom's phone. She has the iPhone 13. I don't think it's a plus, right? It's just the iPhone 13, and it can take decent. It can take photos. I will say from what I've never tried experimenting to see if she can increase her exposure time. But I use her phone to take pictures of the lunar eclipse, and it takes a decent photo of the moon. When I take a photo of the moon with my phone, it's all grainy,
Right.
and her phone actually gets a decent clear image of the moon, and it can capture constellations within the photo as well, which is kind of cool. But that's about it. It's just constellations that are bright enough uh, for like half a second of exposure time or whatever it is.
Right.
Now if I could increase the exposure time on her phone, that would be a game changer. But I don't know if
Just
I
get an
know it's a
app.
Samsung. I know Samsung. You can, I believe, right?
No, just get an app. I've been telling you this forever. Just get
But
an
the app
app.
doesn't work. Well, that's the thing, though. I got an app for my phone, but it doesn't work.
Oh, that's because your phone's too old. Literally any new phone you get, like anything made within the past 2 years or so, it will do it.
Well, my phone was made 2 years ago.
What's your phone?
The uh SE second generation.
Oh, that's probably why. It's literally, but yeah, it may have been made 2 years ago, but it's with hardware from 5 years ago.
Oh no, it had the newest bionic chip at the time though.
Oh, then I have no idea what. Well, then maybe it's because it's just an iPhone.
Unless I just downloaded the wrong app or whatever, which is entirely possible too. All I'm saying, I found some app that I thought would work, and it did not work. And I never bothered trying to find a different app. I did because you had your nice little camera that did the same job, and so I'd never bothered because the only way to actually take a decent photo is to have a tripod. If it,
Well,
and
yeah.
so obvious. And so anytime I'm going out stargazing or whatever, you would have your phone, you would have your camera, and then like something, a GoPro or something else. You always needed both tripods, and so it's
Oh
like
no, the other tripod was for binoculars.
your binoculars. That's right. But yeah, I would need to just try a completely different app. If the phone's camera hardware is capable of it, then it's the app.
It's probably just iPhones. They probably just have it locked down for some reason. You probably do need to go to Android. Then I guarantee you'll be able to do it.
Yeah. Well,
Just
yeah,
with an
because
app.
you obviously found an app that allows it to work. So
No, I never did.
I
That's
thought
just
you found
native
an
within
app
the
that
phone. That's the
what?
photos I have taken with my phone are just native, but they're not that good. They're just like your
No, but
mom's
it
phone.
allowed you to increase your exposure time, didn't it?
No, kind of. It's their night mode. It's a fixed exposure time. You just get what
Oh,
you get. You can't be like, "Oh, I want this, I want that." No. It is their night mode. You don't get to pick. It's
oh.
just like your mom's phone. It literally does it has the same capabilities. But I bet you I could find an app that will let me do it. I just don't care. That's why I said you
Oh.
need to get off Apple and that'll probably do it. That'll probably literally
But
all it will
see, the
take.
thing is, though, aside from the phone, it would be nice to have a camera and, like, experiment with the ISO and the aperture and all that. I think that's just kind of cool, to think about and to. I think it'd be kind of cool to actually be hands on and mess with that and get and dial something in to work. I think that's just kind of cool, and so maybe one day. But cameras, photography is an expensive hobby that I can't afford yet.
Yeah. The so no, we need to talk about stuff. Uh are you gonna come to the meeting tomorrow then or no?
Oh yeah, that's tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah. Should
What is
I
tomorrow? Is
huh?
it the first? You said
It's the
it's the
thirty
first.
first.
Today's the third. Oh, I'm sorry. Tomorrow, yeah, it is the
It's the
31st.
last Tuesday of every month.
Yeah, I suppose. What time?
7:30.
7:30.
Yeah.
How late does it go?
I have no idea. I
How
can't
late has it?
imagine too late because they're all old.
Well, how late has it gone in the
I
past?
don't know. I've never been.
What? Oh my gosh.
I haven't been able to make it. December's was November's. I don't know why I couldn't make it November, and December I think might have been canceled.
Well,
Yeah,
because let me put it this way: if it's an hour, that's fine. If it's 2 hours, then I don't want to be there till 9:30.
I guess I'll go and I'll let you know for next time.
Yeah, I think that'd be preferred.
Are you gonna show up to the 10th though?
What's the 10th?
Yeah, so that's out by the lake. Not the observatory we go to. The one north of here, way north. I was trying to not say it, but yes. Now I
Oh, you
have
didn't want to
to.
say it? I didn't know you didn't
No.
want to say it.
Huh?
What?
What?
You didn't? Why did I didn't know you didn't want to say it?
Why do you think I was like the one and I was being obscure about it?
I thought you didn't know.
No, I do know.
I didn't know.
Okay, it's that one.
I didn't know why you were trying to. I didn't know why you wanted to conceal that name.
Anyways, it's that one.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, so you're gonna cut out that name?
I'm gonna have to. It's that one. That's
Yeah.
the how to use your telescope knife or whatever, and they'll go through and they'll tighten things up and they'll get rid of all the slop and they'll tell you how to line it up and stuff. They might even collimate it. I don't think have you ever collimated yours properly?
I've collimated it according to the manual.
Yeah. So did you? Yeah, they'll probably collimate it better for us.
I don't know. I did it however Celestron said to do it in their manual.
I've
And that
never
was
collimated mine.
I don't even remember when that was last summer, this 2 summers ago. It's been forever.
Yeah, they'll probably call if they have time. The issue is I can't get there until 6 at the
How late are they
early-
open?
Well, no, the issue is you got to do it during
Oh,
the
you have to do
day.
it before dark. Yeah, you do. You have to do it during the day. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember because I did. Yeah, I did during the day.
Yeah.
Because I think I was going to set it up that night to go look at it, and then it was like, oh, I have to collimate it during the day. And this was back during those 2 weeks, and I'd moved back home, I think. And I was messing with my telescope. I remember we got to see Saturn.
Was
was
that
pretty
that
cool.
night? Which stargazing night was that? Was that first night we did it?
That was, I think that was, so. I think that was what got us into going and traveling out to like Bordeaux 3, because I don't think. Yeah, if I remember correctly, so we did a trip out to Scotts Bluff and all that in May. We had thought about going out to the Bordeaux sky, but I think we didn't take enough days off to go check out our spots. And
Well, yeah.
And we
weren't
didn't go on our first trip out to Mullen was in September. I moved out in July, and there was about 2 weeks after I had moved out when I was living at home, and I spent basically the whole time when I was at home just messing with my telescope because I was bored. I didn't really have anything. I didn't really want to be on my phone all day, and so I was like, let's just start messing with my telescope. So I pulled it out. I saw it was going to be clear that night, and I think it was the next day I collimated it. But it was, I think, that night I was able to see Saturn, and then I called you, and you came over. It was pretty hazy, but up in the zenith it was fairly clear, and then was. I think it was like a couple weeks after, because I think it was after I'd moved into my new place, like that first week or something. That's when we went out to Friend, and that's when we went to our first Bordeaux 3, and then I went back home, and that's when I realized, oh crap, I've been able to see the Milky Way with my parents, but I've never realized, how
Okay,
faint
so
it
it's
is.
not the time I'm thinking of.
It's there, and and then we went to Friend, and then I think it was a couple weeks later. It was like a month later or something, because it was in September when we went out to Mullen.
Okay, that's not the time I'm thinking of then.
Oh, what time are you thinking of?
I think it was the summer before, where I got there, we
Well, I
all
remember
realized
you
we
came
didn't.
over one time during the summer to make a Tinder bio of you looking through my telescope.
Yeah, but that wasn't that day though.
Oh,
It was a random day, and I don't remember. I was at my parents'. This was freshman year. This would have been freshman year
yeah?
because I was at my parents' still. So it would have been that freshman sophomore year that summer,
Okay.
and I don't remember if I called you and I was just like, "Hey, it's supposed to be clear tonight. You want to stargaze?" And we were in your back.
No, because we never did any stargazing when you were in high school.
No. This is college. When I said I was
No,
still
but
at home, freshman sophomore year.
the first time we stargazed though was after I'd moved out though.
No, this was not. You were still at home.
We didn't stargaze though.
Yes, we did.
Where did we go?
Your parents' backyard.
Oh, I remember that night. Yeah, but we didn't have the telescope though.
Yes, we did. I remember we got it
No,
out.
we didn't get it to work though.
Right. But we had it
That's what I
out.
said, the telescope. We didn't get it to work.
Right. That's the
Could've
first
tried
night I'm
something
talking
else.
about. That was the first time we ever did anything.
Oh, that's what you're talking about. No, I remember that night. Yeah, and we were late. I was laying on the monkey bars.
Yeah. That was a
Remember
good
that.
night.
I was laying on the monkey bars.
That was a good night.
Yeah.
We can do something like that again.
Well, it'll have to be in the summer.
Well, yeah, I'm not doing it now. We'll freeze to death.
I think the last time we did this, it was in the cold. I think I decided 40 degrees is the minimum.
Yeah. We need
I'm
to
not. I'm not going stargazing if
we need
it's
to
lower than 40
we need
degrees.
to make friends with a farmer out by Friend or Alexandria.
You know, it's just too cold to
Then
set
we can
stuff up.
camp. Or,
Yeah.
we could just do it at my dad's, but that's not that dark. Need dark places.
Yeah,
Anyways.
you just drive out there, ring up some farmer's door, and make friends with them.
Oh, yeah. Why don't you get to work on that? Did you did you ever place a reservation then?
For what?
The birds.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So we
Yeah,
have
we won't have access to a pool, but yeah.
but we have a
Continental
room though.
breakfast. We have a room. Yes.
Excellent. We should probably put that in the chat.
Oh, the room.
Saying that, hey, yeah, we got a room. Here's how much you owe.
Oh. Yeah, I guess I could do that.
That would be important. But damn, yeah, we need to do another night like that. That was a good night.
Yeah. I didn't realize that's what the night you were referencing.
No, that's the one. There was
Yeah.
another one we did at your parents'. I do remember getting there late because the moon was setting. But Kyle had work, I thought, that night, didn't he?
Well,
That night we
I
were
remember
out.
one night you were taking pictures of the Big Dipper over our house, but I think that was the same night.
I don't think did I take photos that first time I was out there.
Because I remember one time we were shining flashlights in his room, and he got pissed. He started shining the flashlight back.
That would have been the second time. That wasn't the first time because the first time he was out there with us.
He was out with us one time?
Yeah, that first time we did it, he was out there with us.
Not with the monkey bars.
Yeah, he was.
Well, it wasn't late though. For like a small part of the night, and then he had to go in. Because I
Oh.
remember it was just you and me talking.
Oh, I thought he was out there all night. I thought he just fell asleep.
No. He went back inside.
Because I remember the second night. Because the second time I remember I laid on the back of my truck. And we tried it with our phones for the first time.
I don't recall.
Such simpler times. See, that's the issue, right? Anytime there was a clear night like that now, we wouldn't be here. We would be in Friend.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's never just simple. It's also never any clear nights anymore, it feels like. But,
Yeah.
Well, there were some this fall, but you were busy.
Clear nights?
Yeah.
Oh, I had school. I had class.
Damn class at school. Gosh. I finally have
Next
time for a
spring.
hobby, and you schmucks were like, I want to go back to school.
Yep. Yep. Pretty much.
Finally, you
Pretty
guys can
much.
enjoy my hobby that I've liked since I was a kid.
I'm done with school. I have a degree. I'm done. Hey, I can go back to school. Sign me up. Basically, is what it was.
It's like
I'm done with school. I have a degree. I'm going to go back to school. Not even pursue what I was doing originally to get a master's or anything. No, I'm going to get a completely separate degree.
Yeah. Here I finally you guys finally have time to enjoy a hobby that I've enjoyed since I was a kid, and you guys can't do anything. And you go back to school.
Yeah. And to go back to school.
Losers.
No, what pisses me off though is I don't remember what I was doing on June 5th, 2012. That was the last time that there was a Venus transit until like 100 years from now. It's not until the year 2100 something. Like I'll be long dead by this time. By the next time there's another Venus transit. And what's crazy is every time there is a Venus transit, there's always two of them that are like 12 years apart or something. They're always about 12 years apart ish. And so they come in pairs like that. And then there's no more for like another 100 years. And that's how it's always been. And so there was one in like 2004, which, okay, I was probably too young to remember that. If I was there to see it, I don't remember it. But there was one in 2012. I would have been a freshman. It would have been the summer before my freshman year. And I remember this is when I would have, in the summer, I was doing cross country runs. So I would have been running in the morning, but it was visible at night. Like late evening, like, because I think it was like 5 p.m. to sunset is what it would have been visible for like the state, or at least Nebraska. And I don't remember what I was doing because I know I did not. I know I don't remember seeing it.
Was there a Mercury transit around the same time?
I don't remember if there was a Mercury transit. The next Mercury transit is like 2062 or something. So, I mean, I should be alive to see the next Mercury transit unless something bad happens within the next before then. But I mean, but the Venus transit is the ones that are always famous because that's actually how we calculated the astronomical distance in like the 1600s was from the Venus transit. But I don't know what I was doing.
Okay, it wouldn't have been. I did see it then. I did see the Venus transit.
You did?
Yeah, I never saw Venus, but I did see the Venus transit because my dad, he got home from work.
Oh, I'm sorry. No. Oh, so the next transit by Mercury is in 2032, but it'll only be visible for South America, Africa, and Russia.
Yeah.
So if we go to South America, we could see it in 2032. The next one for the U.S. is 2049. My bad. Oh, and then there is one in 2062 as well. That'll be visible.
Yeah, Mercury transits are very common.
Yeah, the Mercury ones are the most frequent. But the next Venus one, let's see.
Well, yeah, but anyways, no, I did see the Venus transit because my dad came home from work one day, and he went and grabbed the welding helmet, and he was like, "Hey, we gotta look at the sun." And I'm like, "Why are we looking at the sun?" He's like, "There's supposed to be some." I couldn't remember if he said Venus or Mercury. It must have been Venus, and it's gonna cross the front of the sun. It's gonna look like some dot. I couldn't see it, but also it's a welding mask, so it was a little brighter than it's supposed to be. It doesn't block out all the light like it's supposed to.
Year 2117. So I'll be 120.
I'll be 117. That's pushing.
I'll be 120 the next time that there's a Venus transit.
Unless we get free healthcare, that's gonna be pushing my limits.
Yeah, so I don't think I will be stretching the world record or something. I don't mean maybe because
by then I guarantee you the world record would be like 200. Would be like 130.
Maybe.
I guarantee it. That's 100 years. That's almost 100 years from now.
Maybe.
You know what the life expectancy 100 years ago was?
I don't know.
Probably half of what it is now.
I don't think it's 50 or no 40. It's like 80 right now.
Yeah, 100 years ago, guarantee it. Average life expectancy was 50. Guarantee it.
50 is not half. 40 is half.
Well,
anyways,
1920. 53.6 years. So yeah, not half, but 53.
Yeah, not half.
But think about that. 53.6 years. Now it's 80.
Yeah.
That's a 30-year increase.
More like 27, but yeah.
Okay, 27-year increase. That's a lot.
I said maybe. I don't know. It's hard to say. All I'm saying is that I don't think I'll be alive at that time.
Yeah, you won't, but I guarantee you, somebody who saw the Venus transit the first time will be alive the second time. Guarantee it. Whether they actually...
Well, yeah. Because they would be just... Well, it depends how you define saw. Or like, did they see it but don't remember it? Or were they the 8? Because they'd have to be at least, like I'd say, minimum 3, preferably at least 5 or 6. To be able to remember something like that.
Probably just was
because
alive during it.
If you're 3, it's like, I remember being there, but I don't remember what was going on. If you're 5 or 6, I feel like you're old enough to remember what was going on with it.
Anyways. No, but I did see the Venus transit. There was also a partial solar eclipse during that time, too. I remember we used that welding helmet to see that, too. That was pretty cool.
What's pretty cool is that there'll be all these eclipses that we're going to go see, there'll be a partial eclipse here. So.
Oh, yeah.
People will still be celebrating here, but we'll be seeing the real deal.
Oh, yeah. Freaking losers. Losers will be here.
It says, oh, there was one in 2019? What was I doing in 2019?
It was November.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean we were able to see it in North America.
Oh, that's true. In 2016, 2000, where was...
You also probably wouldn't have been as interested.
Well, we would have already been talking about stars, though. 29. No, I bought my telescope by then. I didn't really use it because I was waiting on a part.
We were disenfranchised.
Yeah. I need to see. All right. Go back.
Yeah, but that's
the Mercury transit.
I don't even know what I actually had planned for today to talk about.
Next 5.
It's kind of just lost at this point. But
I'm sorry. 2010 to 2019. No, it was visible in America. 2019. And so was 2016.
Who knows? I didn't see it, so who knows?
I know. That's what I was like. What the hell was I doing in 2019?
Who knows?
I'm kind of pissed.
Oh well, you missed it. Oh well.
It would have been.
You need a telescope to see it anyways.
What?
You need a telescope to view it anyways.
The Mercury, really?
Probably. I couldn't see the freaking Venus one. How the hell are you going to see the Mercury one?
Can you see... Well, I had a telescope, I think, in 2019.
Yeah, but you also have to have the right
tool. When was Mercury... Well, yeah, you'd have to have a solar filter. When was... Oh, I'm sorry. No. Can you see Mercury transit? I want to say with naked eye, but obviously I know you need to have, like, solar filters. But hopefully this pulls something up.
Well, anyways, I can't remember what the
At the closest approach, Mercury is only 11 arc seconds so wide, well below what we can resolve with an unaided vision.
There you go. Well, anyways, I can't remember if there was something I was going to mention in this.
So so you saw Venus with your naked eye?
No, I never saw. I watched the transit. Like, we looked at the sun, but I couldn't
But
see anything.
you don't recall making it out.
My dad says he saw it. I never saw it. I remember my dad saying he saw a dot, but I never saw it.
The transit of Venus is a naked eye event.
Yeah.
Without binoculars or telescopes.
Like I said, maybe I saw it. I definitely watched it, but I have no idea if I ever actually saw it. But, anyways, like I was trying to say, I don't know what I actually want to talk about for this podcast, but we're an hour in, and honestly, we've had plenty of conversations that will make.
Do you have something you want to talk about?
Are you listening?
Well, you said you don't remember.
If I don't remember, then no, I didn't.
Was it something important?
If I don't remember, then it wasn't important, obviously.
No, that's not true. I have forgotten some very important things when it's like, shit, I was supposed to do that. That's freaking important, and it just left the train of thought. That train took off, and left me in the dust, and it was not pleasant forgetting things that are important because it is possible.
I'm just quoting the joke, and really for the podcast, it's not important if I don't remember it.
Was it a trip?
No.
No.
Probably not. I don't know.
Probably not.
I don't know. It's completely boop. It's gone.
Boop. Gone.
Anyways. What?
Oh, just stretching.
Oh, I thought you were going like you. Oh, I remember this thing. Anyways.
Stretching.
I would like to thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. New podcasts every Friday, 11 a.m. Central Time. And noon Central Time. And good night.